How's everybody doing today? So, we have basically talked about a lot of the things that are involved with these realms, these kingdoms. We have to think about the symbolisms to all of them, the historical uh, effects of them all, and the very possibility that they are factual. So, today I was doing research on the Greeks, sort of how they did their pantheon and their little divisions as well. So in the Bible, you see Greek names like Hades and Tartarus. Those are realms within. Tartarus is the fiery realm within Hades, the realm of the dead. The god of the dead is named Hades. That was he is the god of the living, god of the dead. He was the dude who rules over death. So I mean, well, we know that Jesus rules over death, but I'm just saying before these events, as for in terms of the Greeks, what they understood to be the person who ruled over death is Hades. So these divisions, they are. I had to really look at it because it was Zeus. Then I'll explain why this is important. So Poseidon and let me see Hades. So though Zeus would be considered from Jupiter and Poseidon more of the Neptune and also I think it was before Uranus was sort of one of the things there, but and he said Pluto was the one that was more for Hades. So those would be those three divisions there. But to explain, Saturn is the Jews' planet. It is the planet that the Jews have basically used as a tool for the holy and spiritual transmission. However, is to explain the name is Saturn. The rings of Saturn, of course, we said it was over the time, but also the fact that synagogue of Satan means a lot of other things as well. Historically speaking, there are these symbols that have pertained to Remphan or a lot of other things, Moloch, those types of things within the spiritual system in Judaism, and it's not their fault per se. It's just the angel is really one that had been God had placed over them is Satan. And but here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's many angels. We said the 70 angels, 70, 72. Those types of things, they're also, in some cases, also considered the fallen angels. In a way, they just those realms of being worshipped as idols. That's something that the Creator does not like. Those idols. I mean, forget even about the jealous God. I mean, that is idolatry of things under heaven is sort of the things just to protect you, like we said. The protection of you in the soul is just like the things that are transferring into these images, the things that are found in heaven, that earth. I mean, there are a lot of things transferring if you're able to, again, those are the things that you can move out of the way if you know how. But other thing, that battle we're looking at, there is a dragon. Uh, those are those things that have been replicated throughout history. The dragon itself had multiple heads. It's something that had been sort of put away. We're talking about, I'll even share Enoch because we're looking at these planets have things called watchers, those types of things. Again, if you find something that people are looking, uh, seeing things that are unseen, you might not want to do that or anything like that because it might, I mean, not even just even the spirits. We're looking at just the angels themselves. Those angels are watching over you. There are angels watching over you. Whether you know it or not, those are the angels that are either sent by God or they're sent by another force. I mean, those are the types of things that you might look at, the negative and positive properties of these beings. So that's what may be looked at as where they come from. But the thing about Saturn, this is real. The Saturn thing, most of our religious systems are coming from what Saturn expectation. But these are the rulers. Okay, they've been put in the solar system for a reason. Uh, but I want to talk about something. The 24 and 4. These are the beings that were existing before the existence. Basically, they had or have been born in the womb, or they didn't make it. Imagine being a soul, but you don't really come back. You just sort of you grow on another planet or another realm. Those are the places we're looking at. The 24 and 4. 24 and 4. The 4 part is that when we mentioned the bull, the lion, eagle, the man, those are the with the throne. That's connected to 24 and 4. You know, you might know them sometimes as angels. There's a lot of overlap sometimes, but this 24 and 4, these are people who basically they're above it all. So that 24 and 4 is something to look at. 24 and 4. Yeah. So rest in peace, Kobe. So uh, that is something to consider for in general when you're talking about the beings, why we don't even have what we have now, because the fire had consumed the offerings. Those were, I mean, there were very well been like dragons. That fire being consumed. So the being is Saturn and Jupiter. We're looking at both are evil, but the sense of the fact that you can get the transference that there are some things even that can travel from the sun. Riding chariots of fire, basically, you're going to see that's in the book of Daniel. I mean, that being that rode down the chariots, coming from, I believe, the north. I mean, those are the locations. It's all symbolic, whether it's happening in the unseen realm or it's happening in the physical realm. It's probably gonna happen in the unseen realm. A lot of things are going on, but yeah, we're not gonna go back to the old system that Saturn had put in place. I mean, you cannot. In some cases, there are certain things that are just not applicable to today, but they can still be enforced. You know, I mean, you're looking at those events that have been used. They've been like loopholes. You're looking at the 1940s. Those areas, you know, systemic racism, slavery, and then going back to Holocaust. Those are events that you're like, somebody had to play a part in this that wasn't a human being. And yes, it was the Prince of the Power of the Air was over all of these events. You know, whether it was in D-Day, even the atomic bombs being dropped. Those are all, he was responsible. He was the Prince of the Power of the Air. He was the dragon that had moved through everybody's minds. You know, there's these levels of supreme violence. So if he's still out and about, he's still pulling those strings. So someone has to put him, down in a sense. But those types of events, you're looking at, he had already been like probably locked away. I'm trying to say whether he's fallen before and locked away. I mean, the point is, the idea is because most of these events can be put back into the scapegoat. We're looking at a lot of it biblically and even religiously. They say Azazel, but we know Azazel isn't exactly the Lucifer guy. He's different. I'll share Enoch with you. Now, Enoch has probably, it's not necessarily 100% accurate. It's fact very inaccurate, but think of it as you can replace some of the things, the giants, even replace them with dinosaurs if you want. Because remember, some of us had evolved from reptiles. I'm trying to explain that when I say the word evolution played a part in it, I'm saying a lot of in your genes again. You're looking now what we're talking about, the Garden of Eden, blah blah blah, things like that. What might be in your genes, and a giant could be also considered a dinosaur. These are. I'm trying to say dinosaurs are also considered giants in some cases. So think about it even like that. Uh, the human giants or human Nephilim, those would also be 7 foot tall as well. So those are another thing. Different races of people came from different races of things being put together through the dirt, to the soil, through the stars, through different animals, things like that being pulled apart, taken together, transmuted into certain DNA and formed to create who you are. Um, that's the best way I can put it. But again, the Old Testament stuff you're reading, none of that is applicable to today. I mean, those 10 commandments are foundational, but there are other commandments about slavery, things like that. Da, da, da. We are not going to use that. Throw them away. The first 10 commandments, you can use that anywhere, but the rest of that stuff, throw that away. Okay, if we have things about slavery, not applicable. You know what I'm saying? Things about animal sacrifice, things like that. We already had a sacrifice, not applicable. So if you might say da da da, someone's gonna say this and this and that. Nope, knock it down because unless we're talking about the Saturn, like coming back full force, we're going back 4 or 5 thousand years ago. We're, well, I mean, about 10,000 years ago. Like it's gonna go, like that. We're gonna look at what the conditions were, why Moses had sort of his body was being fought over between Lucifer and Michael because Moshe, also called Moses, Moshe had followed the law in such a great way, you know, great way that the devil himself wanted to take the body of Moses. He wanted to take it after Moses had passed away. But Michael had said, he just said, get the body. I mean, he basically said, I rebuke you, Satan. And that was the way he was able to take Moses' body and rebuke the devil. Because we're looking at the devourer had formed many creative ways to get people's souls, now even bodies. But don't fall for his tricks, his temptations. Those are the things that you need to look for. Um, the Jews know that they are very, very, very close knit. It's very, very close knit into a religion. If the adversary is in your religion, you wouldn't know if you worshipped him or not. And he deceived the whole world. It's the truth. I can't say you're naked and then clothe you. I mean, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm not gonna be like that. But I will say this: the battle that Israel had to go through to be named Israel, Jacob, his name is Israel. After he had wrestled with that very angel, um, that very angel's name he didn't want to be named, but Jacob was saying, um, I won't let go till you bless me. And, the angel was saying, I must go for the dawn is breaking. So that's a symbol of his being. I mean, some of this stuff is in more hidden texts, but the point of it, his identity, is the fact of the dawn. The dawn is representation of the fall of the angel that Jacob wrestled with. His name is again Halil or Lucifer, and that angel had blessed three of the that cherubs was three things were taken again from that cherub that Jacob now possessed. So I'll explain later, but the point is that is the blessing that Jacob had received because he did defeat that very angel. They said he was God, but it wasn't God, but it was sort of the God of this world, if you know what I mean. That's the one who controls the mind, the mental illusion. Once he wrestled with that angel, that's what the kingdom he received. I mean, the things that he received. So that's going to set up a future event again with Jacob and that angel. That fight, once Jacob wins that fight again, is sort of the symbolic of saving the world in a different way. It's gonna be very unexpected. Many things happen, but the point is, it's that the fact that Satan that deceived the world, once he falls, the angel to the bottomless pit is going to lock him away. Now, he's gonna have a chance to, you know, do what he's always done, deceive many, because again he lied first, he killed first. Those are the types of things we looked at. But once he comes, he falls, gets locked away. Angel to the bottomless pit, Apollyon. He's gonna lock him away for 1,000 years. See, 1,000 years has passed, he gets let out again. So those are the things that we're being taught in the Word. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that may not be revealed quite yet because too many things would have to change. You wouldn't like that. I mean, the point is, it isn't to ruin your day. It's just to say that Israel has been fighting a long time. Things like what most people experience every day, being targeted like most people feel like they are, it's all symbolic of being an Israelite. Israel, those are the powers, that you have the body, as the earth. We looked at these things because they are basically Halil's archenemy, but in a sense his nemesis. So a lot of these tribes, again, they had gone experienced through so much because of what they go through with that very angel. So that dragon had affected the Jews. It affected a lot of other people, a lot of other people's lives. I mean, people waking up, getting disintegrated through those atomic bombs. We're looking at the beginning and the end. We're looking at the person who's caused all the destruction of the world, who will pay for his crimes. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about that angel. All right, he's gonna get locked away for a long time. Even if he gets let out, he's just gonna ensue the battle between the Earth, Gog and Magog. That's the Saturn, Jupiter, and the Earth. That's why I'm saying he's either already been locked away or he will be locked away. The point is that this being is pure evil. So he's infected pretty much every religion. That's why no one's really right, because that deception was in the very beginning. But the creator of heaven and earth has been waiting and saying, of the accuser saying, your time is over. You will deceive no more, lock them away. And that's going to be a lot of peace for a lot of people. It is. For at least a long time, because you're looking at the first resurrection. That's going to be the period where Jesus Christ is going to be resurrecting a lot of the people, and they will not suffer the second death. Those are those people you reign with for 1,000 years. That's the age we mean. So when Satan falls again, he's going to be locked away for 1,000 years. That's all I have to say, because I can't fully tell you. If you might say, heard this and that. I'm not gonna fault hallelujahs or Christmas. Those are the things that weren't about even. It's bigger than any deception. Deception had been crossed with all of religion. Basically, no one likes what he did. That's why it's gonna take a partnership. Angel from the bottomless pit. We're gonna need pretty much everybody. Lock this man away. Whether it happens in this lifetime or another, you'll be locked away. That's all you need to know. All right, everybody. Peace.